Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Okay, so we're just testing to see if this is actually working. A bit of desktop audio there. Excellent. Okay. So we're going to play a little bit of ladder. I don't know if this is working or not. We'll see, eh? Seems to be. Yeah, seems to be working. Okay, so I think we'll take the grots in this one. So we're testing out the Green Horde. There's so many different ways of playing the control Gazgul, and so far I'm not a believer in the Green Horde, but I do want to test, so here we are. Still very early in the season, so we are just testing lots of new things. Guess we'll sibs. Next turn we've got Green Horde with the Orc Knob and the Storm Boys to flank. But he didn't do anything, which is strange. So now I'm thinking we do this, and add as nails. That might now be worthy of a hard removal and spider retribution. Yeah. Okay. I think we know what's getting the no mucking about treatment. So we're just doing a quick test stream. Won't be a long one, but I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do a little bit more live streaming directly on YouTube. So I'm just doing a bit of a test for that today. So if you've just joined, welcome. Guess we just go. Yeah, I guess we just go Greatest War Boss again. Just keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, we'll put another 6 on you. Well, at least now we've finally got something to use our counter attack on, which is good. So we're going to green horde. We usually need 5 mana for this player, so we've got plenty. We can still hero power as well. So we're just going to green horde. Play this. Drop these out. We could even. We might as well even drop that and just do this. Oh, that was the mistake. Oh no. It was the only vehicle, wasn't it? Why did we do that? Oh no, man. Okay, that was a misplay. I'm going to do it that way because this plays around Storm Raven. It doesn't matter because we've won anyway, but we'd won anyway. But it's good to just kind of think through why you're doing your plays. What you're trying to do. Okay. Oh, I missed that. What are we playing? Playing against Gaskell. And he's got the jump. We ain't using that, let's be honest. So it's a little bit of a problem because he obviously gets the 4 grots out. It's much better to go second in this mirror match now. Yeah, here he goes. And then we're in this problem where, like, if we play Grot Mob now, we can basically only take out one of these. If we hero power, we can take out 2 now. If we grot mob, we take out that. He then hero powers. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, kills 4. It's not a good idea to grot mob here, unless I'm really misunderstanding something. So I think we have to just... We just have to try and hang tough until we can get like a Scorcher off or something. Maybe turn 5 we play Gretchen mob with Ada's nails. That feels better to me. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, please don't hit Gazgul. Excellent. Okay, we're back in it now. We are back in it. So, we really need... If we're going first, we really want... Scorcher Assault is a really good one. Grot Mob is not good. So, see, we could... Interesting. We could Grot Mob and Ada's nails here. Or we could just drop this guy. I think we're going to just drop this guy, you know. That's such a good trade with those. Like, the 5 against the 1 is so good. This guy's so good at taking out the flyers. That Daka 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 on the back of that bike. And then we'll just kill this. And say, we're kind of head on board now. Yeah. Has he left the building? Got a feeling he might. I think he might have given up. Is he giving up? Come on, man. He's either given up or he's just... It could just be probably his connection or something. So annoying when that happens, man. Sorry, dude. So yeah, basically, if you just join in stream, I've got about 15 different Orc decks. Orcs is definitely the faction at the minute. It's so much fun to play. There's so many different viable builds. I'm just testing one here, which is a Gazgul control deck with the green horde. Okay, so my current stance is that green horde isn't great with Gazgul, and I have another deck, which is, if I show you here, BJ Gaz Mech Control. Is that the one? Yeah. So this is the one without the green horde and cuts the 2 drops. This has been doing really well, but I just want to try. So it's basically a slight different way of playing, slight different version to this, and the only reason is that the only weakness of this particular version is that sometimes it can get blown out by an enemy green horde. So I want to test. I'm just wanting to test these different things. Obviously, the green horde works fantastic in my traditional control deck with Face Ripper. This deck is, I've got a stupid win rate with this deck, but like I say, orcs are just like so cool for just testing at the minute. So we're just trialing stuff. So let's go. Let's try another one with this one. Let's go. Anyone in chat? How would I know? Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out, this is the first time I've streamed on YouTube, so I'm just trying to figure out technical stuff in the background, so if I seem a bit distracted, That's what's happening. We don't want that. We do want that against Chaos though, right? If you're in chat, just drop me a message, because I just want to know whether I'm actually accessing chat correctly or not. I'm not sure where I access it. The first stratagem is free. We don't want to do that, do we? I don't think we do. There's one less. That's just giving him... Oh no, it's not Abaddon though, is it? Or maybe we should have done that. Probably incorrect actually to hit face there, because this guy is usually... Oh, it's a bot, isn't it? Yeah, I mean it's aggro, so we're really we're not the beatdown, I guess technically. Now then, this guy. God, I've not played against this guy. Blast 2. Okay, let's trade. We don't want that happening. Ah, hey BJ, I love your content, keep going. Ah, thanks man, I've figured out, oh, hey, good luck. Guys, I've only just found the chat. I'm basically, this is the first time I'm streaming on YouTube, so I've got a clue what I'm doing. Thanks guys, I appreciate that massively. Ah man, what a muppet. Okay, we can just bike here. We can just bike, no problem. Take this out, pop my car in, and just say, do you know what? We're already beating you down, so we're gonna continue to play our control deck as the beatdown against your beatdown deck. Let's see how that works out. It's not correct to play this way, but it's a bot, so you know. Hey, I'm not beyond losing to a bot. It's happened. I lost in practice mode today. I was doing a mission, and I was just like, I think it was you know when you get the Dark Pact ones. I don't know about you guys. I get that all the time. I constantly, every day, I have to do Dark Packs, and I actually find the Abaddon deck really good on the practice one for doing those. But I actually lost the game. It was, yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. Jigsaw, thanks for that, man. It's good because sometimes you're putting content out, and it's like you're putting some stuff out into the wind, into the wilderness. You don't know if anyone's like gives a shit, so it's good. It's good to know, because I literally started it, because when I started this game a month ago, I went onto YouTube. I was like trying to find all sorts. What's the meta? What's, you know, where's the deck guide? And I literally found the Ecclesia, and that was it. Like I was like, where are all the creators? And it's kind of why I ended up just doing it, because I just thought, well, I'm just gonna make stuff that, you know, I essentially would want. This guy's annoying. Oh god. Do you know what? I think we're gonna muck him. I think we're gonna do this. Only because we've also got Will, and we've got some pretty powerful follow-up, so oh. Now that's just for one turn, isn't it? I like this unit. I think this unit's got potential. It's one of the units I want to test when I really start deep diving with Chaos. I've got to figure out how to use it, but it seems like it's got potential to me. Like it's probably something like putting it down, it needs to stick, and then next turn doing the spawned and something like that. I don't know. Right, what are we doing? What are we doing? If we play that, that becomes 5, right? It's no point. See, this is what I mean about the Green Horde. This is why I just don't like Green Horde in Ghazghkull. This hand is exactly, if you watch my content and you hear me talk about this is exactly what I'm talking about. What a dead card that is right now. Completely dead. I'm not going to attack there because he can't use his Warlord talent to kill that anymore with a blast because he's going over here. Ah, Traitor's Hate, right. Ooh, that's a good combo with that too. Oh, man. Wait, how did he get... What did I miss there? His melee attack. Opponent does Ablin's chosen unchild. Oh, so he had already attacked, right? Oh my god. What just happened? This game was great. This. Yep, you've used your Traitor's Hate now. Okay. Why are we not blasting? What is this? What is this? Oh, boy. Okay. Man, I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I'm already bored of it. It's good when it... oh, God, it's so annoying. It's so anti-synergy. The payoff is so good when it works, but it's so inconsistent. I hate doing deck. I hate playing decks like that, but yeah, it could be the meta. Absolutely crazy. Do we don't drop Death Dread for another killer? Could do. Maybe that other deck... Oh god. Maybe Mega Knob Ugrak makes sense in that other deck, right? With Gazgul. Maybe he actually makes sense because he is going to create your Slugger Boys. So when you've got like we just had there with the double green horde in hand, and maybe that is a way of getting around the fact that you haven't got Face Ripper's ability to just draw cards. That's why Green Horde's so good with Face Ripper, because you can always draw into the combos, but with Gazgul you can't. So Mega Knob Ugrak is actually makes a lot of sense in that deck. Oh man, I want to test that now. Let's just see. So the green control. Let's just have a look at this. So what would we, if we were going to put that in? What would we need to put? What would we need to drop to put that in? So maybe we drop one wretched mob. And play Mega Knob Ugrak. Maybe that's the way to do it. Anybody out there? Drop me a line in chat. I have got chat up now, so we can chat. Let's practice. Let's become a streamer, guys. Oh look, there he is, the big man himself. Problem is we're playing Gaz. Oh boy, it's going to be whoever gets it first, isn't it? Toriel's top 5 as well. Oh, I didn't see my hand. Did I get a vehicle? Oh, okay. Gazoff will play the 2. In a Gazoff, we'll play the 2 because we can technically enjoy the head start that going second gives you. It's so powerful, this start. So we just kill that. We pop that, and we pop the Gretchen Tower, and we go, I see your 2 grots, and I raise you for... yeah, what's in there? Anybody out there in chat? What's going on, guys? It's a nice short Sunday afternoon here in the UK. Where are you watching from? Okay, so yeah, so that Makari's that's a good counter. So what did we say? We said Scorcher Assault and Makari if we've got turn 1 in Gaz Mirror. Always good to make a few notes. Learn from the games. We could go off here, but we're not really. It's not much of a going off. It's just 2 Slugger Boys, so we definitely don't do that. We could play the Spanner. It's a little bit hopeful. And next turn into Burner Boy. Is that crazy? But that's definitely happening, right? So if we kill there, so we can drop the Spanner with 4 health, and with the Grot you can't do anything, right? I don't often do this, but I want to try, because I'm trying to think. He has to probably use a bike here, or his legendary Orc Knob to get rid of this from hand. Or he could use Scorcher Assault and get lucky on the high roll. Yeah, he's going to use a bite. Okay. Okay, fair enough. We've still got Burner Boy that can come after Mech Boy, and I think this is a decent turn. I'm not going to get too greedy with in this deck, yeah, in particular, because obviously this is not a Face Ripper control deck. So this is a good green horde with Ghazghkull. I don't run Grots either, so that's pretty much as good as you're going to get, to be honest. Early game. So we're looking good here because we can Mech Boy now. We'd like to draw a vehicle into hand. Chat's quiet today. Okay, yes. Germany. Oh, cool. Let me practice my German. Wo wohnst du auf Deutschland? Is that right? I don't know. It's been a long time since GCSE German. Wo wohnst du? I think means where do you live? Auf Deutschland, is it? No, that's that of Germany. Yorkshire German here for you, mate. I mean, that's actually a really good Scorcher, but I just so want to play Ghazghkull. I so want to play this guy, but then we don't actually have a vehicle, so what's the point? I also wouldn't mind just dropping the wall, dropping this for the nice clean. Do you know what? I don't know. I mean, Wo wohnst du? Oh, you can just say in Deutschland. Wo wohnst du in Deutschland? Okay. What did I say? Auf Deutschland, which is like of where do you live of Germany? Oh man, yeah. Anyway, Been playing Chaos only at the minute, 2,500 points. Abaddon's really good late in the game now, but Orcs are a real problem, really hard matchup. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. You know, that if you've made late game work, I'd love to see that list, because that was my first thing I wanted to test with a new meta, because I really thought there's potential there, but I've not been able to do it particularly well, if I'm honest. Oh god, this card is so good in the See, the thing is though, we would have had Gamzat, we would have had the mech boy and the hero power here. Is there any value to playing mech boy here? Just getting this cheap. But how do we then kill those? So he has to play Makari now, right? Take 4 to face. Ich wohne in Mönchengladbach. 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 I was going to ask you, was ist dein Lieblingsfaction, but sounds like you've already told me that, right? Chaos. Yeah, Orcs are an issue for Chaos and Tyranids right now, because I'd like to play some Tyranids too, right? But because of the hard removal, they're a bit of a problem. I do not know if I played that turn right at all. Hello from Panama. Yo, how's it going, man? Enjoying this game. I'm sad because I've been upgrading all the Ultramarines and now they nerf. Yeah, the nerf to Ultramarines was too much. It was definitely too much. I am not somebody who think like the Ultramarines were powerful and the win rate was insane last season, but I actually think they were quite well designed. They just needed a couple of tweaks to a few cards. Definitely the one drop, but I think they went too far. I really do. Really think they went too far. Okay, we got to drop this now, right? I'd really like to play those two, but I don't think we're going to get to, right? We don't need that. I think we just play this turn. I think Toriel's top 5 at the minute, unless I'm mistaken. I have to check. I'll check afterwards. You think they're the weakest faction? Do you know there is a deck? Oh, motherfucker. Motherfucker. We walk right into that. he hasn't played any. There is a couple of marine builds that look semi-promising, but it's difficult, man. They've been hit so hard that the nerfs were way too extreme. But don't worry, they'll come back. That's the beauty of a digital CCG, right? Is that they will, you know, they will get changed again. They're going to see the play rate, and they're going to. And you've probably picked up as well, like how much they're into the lore and everything, and this is going to not be good from a lore perspective for them at all. So definitely expect to see. So let's do this, and let's do this, and then let's do. Well, you're 100% going to be doing that. As much as I want to do that and use my melee attacks, we can't be that stupid. Has he got another will? Second will for the win. I think he's won the game if he has. Okay, no he hasn't. He's probably going to get through this though now, yeah. Oh, interesting. Does he draw the hard boy? Hard shell. No hard shells. We win. Nice. Well played, Toriel. Top 5 Toriel. Juicy, juicy. 48 points. I think he's top 5. Do you like my avatar, guys? This pained me to get, but yeah, this is part of the content creator thing. I went through the program, and I basically had to stream 4 hours on Twitch, and I got that, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. So the Green Horde worked well in there. We didn't get to use the 6-drop that we put in. Toriel, yeah, he's fifth. Yeah. I don't know where we are now. I think we're in the top 30-ish. Yeah, 27. Just don't play enough games. It's the problem with content creating. You can't just grind. Like I was looking at some of the guys at the top of the ladder. They've played like I think Shimitsu's got like 1,200, nearly 1,200 victories. You know, 1,200 victories. That is insane, man. What's Akko got? 540. Big Abaddon player, and he's probably almost equaled that now with his Necrons. And meanwhile, I've got 180. Ah, that's cute. That's cute. Let's play another one. Gary Percival, how you doing, son? Long time no see. Me and Gary used to play Warhammer 40k together all the time back in the day. Yeah, Chaos weakest faction. Interesting, man. I think that Orcs are the best faction right now. Necrons are second, and that's mainly because their two best builds for Necrons are very good in the current meta. So their two best builds are Scarab build, which is very good against Orcs, and
Their control deck is somewhat weakened since the patch, but it's still competitive and it can beat Orcs. So I don't know who's favoured in that match against Orcs. Two great players with two top decks. It's very even. It's very even. If they played 100 games, I'd expect it to be close to 50-50. But it's competitive. So I think Necron's a second. I think Eldar a third for me. I've got a really good Eldar deck that's working really well for me. I think Eldar are very good. They just struggle with high health, like what I call the Lich Guards of the game. You know, we've got a Lich Guard in this deck. The Hard Shell is like our big Lich Guard, you know. So it's those, you know, like Tyrannid Guard, those kind of like high health armor units. That's what Eldar struggle with. They just have no hard removal, so that's keeping them back. But they're very good otherwise, to be honest. Fourth, I would say... Ooh, what did I say is fourth? Fourth is probably Tyrannids. And then... Chaos and Ultramarines. I think Chaos are fifth. I think Ultramarines might be the worst now. Which is... It shows you how dramatic they've gone. Do you know what? Let's pop the... Do we want to pop the Gretchen mob? Let's pop the Gretchen mob. Let's just... Because if he wants to Stormraven that, then we're more than happy. We're more than happy with him Stormraven in that. He's got nothing on the board, so where you've got to be careful of like that play is, say he had 2 units on the board, this would be a terrible play because he Stormravens it and then he gets to just kind of pile on face with the units on the board. But because he doesn't have anything, he plays the AoE to remove, but he hasn't actually gained back any tempo. He's not developed his board, so we then get to develop the board again. So that's just something you want to think about with all kind of like AoEs. Okay, so interesting. Do we do that risky thing again where we play the Spanner? Problem there with the Spanner, I wish you could play cards, by the way, and then put them back. So the problem with the Spanner play here is we lose to Stormraven big time, right? Because he Stormravens the board and then he attacks with Kalgar and kills the Spanner, and that would just be so sad. But the payoff, if he doesn't have that, would be pretty awesome, because we then get probably 1 or 2 pings back with the Snazwagon, and that could run away with the game. The only alternative is we're not going to just drop Burner Boy, and are we going to play... Warboss just gives us +2. I think we're going to risk it. We lose to Stormraven, but, you know. Got a deck code, dude. I'm still trying to get my Abaddon deck working, but completed the Orc campaign. Just. Gary, I've got so many Orc decks that are, like, really competitive. So, what kind of... The first question you want to ask with Orcs, and again, if you just want to build one faction, Orcs are definitely the most fun faction to do right now, because there is so much flexibility. The first question you want to ask yourself is, how do you want to win? Like, what's the type of Orc deck that you want to do? Do you want a control deck? Do you want a kind of really fast aggro deck that's just going to be good for grinding ladder? Do you want a kind of more of a kind of tempo where you know, like a more body deck where you're just gradually getting bigger? Like I've got Stomper build, for example, that does that. Honestly, all of those decks are viable ways to play with Orcs right now. They're all at least A tier, if not S. So it's like, how do you want to play? And then from there we can kind of get into, do you want like the mechs got buffed in... Wait, I'm doing a lot of talking. Let me just make sure I actually kill this thing, and then we'll talk. Okay, so we can go boom. Now the question is, do we do that? I think the answer is no. I think we keep that there, even though we'd get another buff on that. We can't guarantee it's a health buff, can we? Fuck it, I'm feeling greedy. I'm also, yeah, we got the 2 there, and I'm also thinking that like we're pushing our luck now with Stormraven. Although actually, if he'd played Stormraven there, yeah, okay, so he's got the hard removal. Still, we're not too worried about him using that on there. Wait, oh, I was gonna say tempo vehicle. Tempo sounds fun. Yeah, Gazgul plays nicely into a tempo vehicle deck. Okay, so we can have a look at that. Tempo vehicles, for sure. So the big thing about tempo vehicle is what you're basically wanting to do is avoid the green horde, which means that you can drop these. You can drop like the Storm Boys. So there's 2 ways of doing the tempo vehicle. You can do like a pure tempo that's just about like winning with bodies, like is your only game plan. The other way, which is probably a slightly better deck, is a tempo vehicle / control deck. So in other words, it plays a tempo vehicle game plan, but it has like control elements, so it can really switch when it needs to kind of go into that. And I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. Oh man, we just don't really need to do anything here, do we? I feel like we just literally play this out. I mean, we don't even need to play these out because we got green horde with Orc Knob, so we could, in many ways, we didn't even have to do that. Just feels so much less pressure now going up against Marines. And this is Snowfire as well, and he's like top 10 at the minute on ladder. Daka 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 daka. Okay. Oh man. Oh god. And this is why I do not like, for anyone who's just joined up, I'm testing something with Green Horde. We've had 2 games in a row now where I'm stuck with 2 of these in my hand and they're absolutely useless. And this is why I don't like this. I don't like it at all. I did nothing. It's just a waste of cards. Yeah. So the Green Horde's one of the best cards in the game, and it's one of the best cards in the Orc faction, but when you're playing him in Gazgul, it's very greedy because you're going to have the games, like the last 2 games we've had, where it's so inconsistent. You don't have a way of drawing cards like you do in a Face Ripper build. He's coming back into this, man. This is getting insane. That is not what we want to see. You see this? Look how dead this hand is. Turn 10 can't come quick enough. You gonna take another 5? Okay. What is the point? So I guess we're just kind of playing these out as a distraction here so that we can then play Rock Invasion. So you see what I'm saying, don't you guys? Here, like the Green Horde has literally. If we lose this game, we were so far ahead in this game, and we just lost 2 turns basically because we had a bricked hand. So his next turn's going to be powerful. I like where that landed though. Can't afford to attack. I really wanted to attack there, right? I would get an Orc Knob, an Orc Slugger Boy, another Orc Slugger Boy, which becomes 4 with the Green Horde, which is lovely. These would have all got, he would have got buffed by 1, he would have got buffed by 1. But I would have taken 5 to the face and probably put myself in lethal range. So I just couldn't attack. This is so annoying. This game, we've literally lost to Green Horde. Double Storm Raven coming up. Oh, okay. Oh, that's probably as bad. Yeah, he wins. It's 21. Unless he's just not seeing it for some reason. Oh my god, he's just missed lethal, I'm pretty sure. Has he already attacked with them then? What's he doing? He had lethal, he just missed lethal. 6, 9, 13, 16. I'll get it. What's going on? I really don't get it. Did he miss lethal then? Hi from Serbia. Hi buddy. Sasa, how's it going, my man? I don't know what happened there, man. That was weird. I swear he missed lethal there. I did some very quick maths. Where is Snowfire? I thought he was top 10. Maybe not. Right, so Gary, we're going to talk about Gazgul a little bit, right? So, here we go. So, let's come out of here and go into our collection. Right. So, if you look at my if you look at my videos, you'll see my Big Gaz builds, and my most recent kind of ladder gameplay video on there was Big Gaz, and this is a kind of like aggro-y tempo type of build, and you can build it so that you have some small mech in there like grot tanks. You can go double def copters, and you've got like the snaz wagons, and you can combine those with like spanners and war bikes, and you can kind of do the whole mech synergy. That's like a, you know, games are going to go to like turn 6, 7 on average, turn 7, 8 tops really, and what I like about this deck is it's like a glass cannon, so it really reminds me of a scout deck I used to play in the Elder Scrolls Legends, where you basically have to calculate every single play. Like, it really punishes you, this deck, if you misplay. If you attack face when you should have traded, or vice versa, and every point counts, but it's so satisfying, and it has really good reach. But what I would say is you want to have a look at something like this, right? So if you look at this deck, and I've literally just changed this, I'm trying double killer cam, but actually I literally just changed that a minute ago. I haven't played a game with it yet. I actually had a Death Dread in. Originally I had 2 Death Dreads, and what you want to do here with this is, because we're not playing the Green Horde, we drop the 2 drops, so we don't need the Slugger Boy, we don't need the... I'll copy this to clipboard actually. We don't need the... Why won't that send for me? So, hold up, let me come back onto it. I was trying to put something in chat for you. So what you've got here now, because you're not running the boys, the Orc boys, and you're not trying to get this Green Horde combo, which you don't have the draw for anyway, what you do is you make use of Ghazghkull's new hero power, or warlord talent, as this game calls it, in the first couple of turns. And then you can start to drop like things. You can start to look at your spanner synergies with Death Copters, into Killer Khans, in obviously Mech Boy's got synergy, making your things cheaper. And don't forget that Snaz Wagons and the Squig Buggies are also vehicles, so, and the Warbiker as well. So you've got tons of vehicles in there now, making real good synergy with Spanner. The Spanner is broken, guys. Like Spanner, if you get the Spanner off where you're attacking, melee attacking, to trigger with a vehicle on the board, the vehicles will go through the roof. The buffs now that this thing gives are unforgivable. Like it's going to get nerfed at some point because it's so strong. But what you'll see with this version, Gary, what I've done is I've added in some of the elements of like the control as well. So if we lose the board, which is a problem that like Chaos or Tyrannies have, for example, they can do this idea too, where they play down big units and everything and build tempo. But the problem is if they ever lose the board, they've got no way of getting back in the game. That's not the case with Orcs. We've got the Will of God. We can just board clear, reset the board, and then drop our synergies again. You know, we've got things like Scorcher Assault, which you can run 2 of, by the way. If you're missing something in this deck, double Scorcher Assault is perfectly good. You can run, you've got, No Mucking About, again, to take out those stealth units, or take out those big units that are dropped, like the Scorpion Exarch, etc. So that there is a really, really good mech build if you can aim for it. You can run double Cloud of Smoke in this build because you've got so many vehicles. If you haven't watched the video that I dropped yesterday, I actually ran this deck against Eldar, so go and watch that, and we talked about this Cloud of Smoke tech, which is really good. You think about the blind ability in the Ultramarines last season, how powerful that was. Well, you've got it with this deck. It's so good. It's so good. Let's play some of this now. Actually, big guys, big mech control. Yeah, so you can fiddle around with some of the numbers, but it's that's what I would go for if you're looking for vehicle mech. How much money this game to be competitive? I'll tell you now. My advice with that is choose a faction, and right now I choose Orcs. You could also choose Eldar or Necrons if you're going to do this strategy, which is because what you're going to do is you're going to really focus on one faction Sasa. So I would say pick one of those 3, Necrons, Eldar or Orcs. Buy the premium campaign, right? It cost me about £16, I don't know, it's $20 US dollars or something, and I think that's the only money you need to spend, because if you buy the premium campaign, and if you follow my guidance on, I've done a video on like 8 mistakes in the game, watch that, and talks about like how to progress the campaign properly. If you do that, I'm going to keep this because I think we might be playing against Scarabs here. I might keep Burner Boy as well. Oh, that is turn 7. Oh, I ran out of time. Sorry, I'm talking and trying to play. I'm just not doing either very well. Buy the premium campaign, and basically what you want to do is find the most efficient route to the end of the campaign where you get 2 legendary cards. Don't spend any of your epic cards or legendary cards until you've finished the campaign, right? That's the most efficient way to get a meta deck, and you will have a meta deck, and it'll take about a week to do. So with 1 week and like £16, you can have the best meta deck in the game. So, you know, to me, that's not paid. I don't count that as pay to win. Now, if you want to be completely free to play and not do the premium campaign, obviously it's going to take a little bit longer. But there are plenty of examples. The guy who's top of ladder right now, Aquaman, I think played free to play for a long time. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that, but I think he did. But it's all about how much time you're going to invest into playing the game, and how long do you want to wait. And I wouldn't. The other problem is people play ladder straight away. Why are you playing ladder when you first start a game when you don't have a collection? The good thing about this game is it's really friendly in terms of the other modes. So there's a brilliant system where you can basically go into practice mode in this. So say you wanted to collect orcs. There's 6 pre-made decks that include legendary cards, by the way. So you can play games with these cards that you don't even own, and learn the core, more importantly, learn the core mechanics. So each of those 6 decks are based around some of the core mechanics of the faction. So you can learn some of the really learn the faction and use some great cards while you build your collection up, just to get all your kind of daily missions and spend that way. So yeah, that's what I would do, and I think it's pretty reasonable, to be honest, if you do. Right, let's just do a little bit of concentrating again. Yeah, so Gary, you can see, like, early game, we just kind of throwing out our hero power, kind of staying in the game. And because we're playing it like a control deck, we don't even need to, I mean, I don't even need to do this trade here, really. I do definitely get rid of that. And I preserved these guys, you see, so now he has to deal with them, or if he doesn't, they're on the board. That's 4 damage I can do against to keep controlling the board. See, he has to do that anyway. So what was the point of me hitting him in the face with it? The only argument would be, well, we're worried about AoE or spells or something like that, but we is not. We is not. So turn 5. So if we play Gretchen mob hero power here, we get annihilated by Scythe Assault. That's the problem. Or we just drop Deathcopter. I think I'm gonna play this because we do get annihilated by Scythe Assault, but if we don't do it, then we probably lose our knob anyway. And I think that can just die anyway, and we'll get the 3 damage. I'm not going to attack with the Orc knob. I'm going to attack with this. I'll tell you what, we will attack with one of... can we attack? Oh no, we only just play that, didn't we? Chungzu, yeah, you should be able to watch the VOD later. I'm gonna... This is a test for me because I've not live streamed on YouTube before. So yeah, the idea is that yeah, very much that you can. Oh, look at this, boys! Look at this. Now here's a combo for you. Here's a combo for you. Well, first of all, let's go and smash that into there, and then let's do range attack so that the killer can doesn't even die. Oh yeah, it does. Oh well. Do I want to put that on there? That put him on 8. Gives us 4. We haven't got our buff, have we, from the thing yet? We'll stay there. Yeah, definitely go and watch the Forge class series. If you've not watched them, especially the one yesterday, it was brilliant. It was this deck basically versus a kind of meta Eldar Galen tempo deck. So definitely go and watch that if you haven't. And those, we're going to learn a lot from those because they're kind of designed in a way to hold up a second, we got lethal here, haven't we? Sorry, I'm really bad at, this is one of the things about streaming I'm going to have to learn, is that I'm really bad at talking and actually playing well. Yeah, I was saying the Forge class series are really good because we kind of, me and the Ecclesiarch have partnered up and we've kind of said, you know, what would we want to see if we wanted to learn and improve our game and get better at it? Well, we said, well, if we play meta decks and show that matchup, and then basically, you know, as a viewer, you can watch me talking about the matchup and what I'm playing around, and then you can watch him play the same games. Like, a really good thing to do is just to watch both videos at the same time, like time link them and watch them, and just have one of us on mute and the other one not, and just see how it gets played out, because you can learn so much about the matchups from that. So I definitely recommend, if you haven't seen yesterday's, go and watch that. So there you go, Gary. So yeah, really powerful deck. This really good way of building like a deck that you can kind of like enjoy the mech synergy. You can play it as a tempo and sometimes be the beatdown and just win. You don't need to use the control, but it's got those control elements. So if I'm up against it, I can rely on a late game kind of Will of God and Rock Invasion to win the game. The other thing, by the way, if you don't have Rock Invasion, because I know that's a legendary, is I genuinely think you can play one of these, maybe even two, but definitely one of these instead. It's a regular card, so you get this as a beginner, and it just got a buff in the balance update, and they gave it armor 1. Now, if you're new to the game, you might think that doesn't sound like a lot, but this card was already, like, not bad. It wasn't bad, but armor 1 when you've got 9 health is massive. It's almost double the health. It's not quite, because obviously if it gets hit by higher strength things, but when your opponent's got lots of things on the board that are lower strength, armor 1, oh my god, the amount of extra health that equates to, it's really powerful. It's a big buff that it's just got, and for a normal card, the Gorkanaut is definitely something you could run in that build. You could even, if you wanted to like lessen the control element, you could drop a Will of God, drop Rock Invasion, and play 2 Gorkanauts. That's definitely something that you could do with this deck, and it would work pretty well. The other one, of course, is the Death Dread. I started out with 2 Death Dreads, so I think if we look at this version here, where is it? If we look at this version, this has got 2 Death Dreads in, right? So you could run 2 Death Dreads. You know, you can see there's no killer cans in this version, but it has got the Grot tanks. So you can play around with the tanks to see what do you want. Like, I'm not convinced about Grot tanks now, because Ghazghkull's new Warlord talent takes care of those early turns. The Grot tank just used to be a really solid 3-drop. It used to stand up really well to the Marine 3-drop flyer. It used to stand up really well to the Necron 3-drop, like the Tombblade, for example. But in this new meta, it's not necessary, and Ghazghkull's Warlord talent gets you through those kind of energy 2, energy 3 turns. So you can kind of go up now to upgrade that to kind of like Deathcopter, Killer Cans, Death Dreads. Definitely. Did I just get a reward? What did I get? Got a mission. Okay, cool. We are so grinding the Tyranid campaign, so hard. I mean, I've literally finished it, and I'm only at 18. I haven't quite got 18 on the Forge. Desperately need this. Okay, Gazgul, but we are going first. I actually like this hand. I actually quite like this hand. Yeah, quite like that hand. I'm going to keep that. Now, this is what I'm not sure about, right? So what you'll see is I've actually taken the extractor rig here. The reason I've done this, it could be a mistake, right? Because the way you beat going second against Gazgul, we beat this guy earlier. You know, we play the 4 bots out now. We smack one of them and we're just so ahead. And that strategy works really well against Gazgul. So I might have misplayed this, but because I've got Spanner and I've got the vehicles at turn 5 vehicles, what I want to do is end turn, and I want to get out a tank now. I want to get out a killer can next turn, and then drop the Spanner the turn after, and hopefully, well, I can at least attack with my war boss, and then killer can's getting buffed. That's the idea. Could do the same with the Snazwagon if we want, if we need. But I think if that's his board state, we might just get Mr. Killer Can out. Oh, that's annoying though. Oh, God. Maybe we have to do it with the Snazwagon then. Because this is just gonna... It's gonna die to like a war biker and 2 grots. Oh, that's so annoying. This is so annoying. Ugh. God. I don't know. I think he just war bikers here and takes that out with 2 grots. That ping there on the boss was actually really important. It was actually really important. Oh, the other way you can do is Scorcher. Right, yeah. Oh, and there you go, look. So you can get it with us too. Oh, God, that would have made the difference. That ping was absolutely massive for him. It was absolutely massive. Okay, we're probably gonna have to slow down a bit now. Yeah, we need to slow down now. This is where we can switch from like tempo play to because we've built this in a way where it's a mech tempo control deck. We can switch into control mode there. So I didn't play a tempo player. Okay, and so he's mirrored the speed, and we're like, okay, cool. So now we can kind of like start again with the vehicles. And we're back to where we wanted to be, right? Because if he does, he has to keep taking out a vehicle. The second he doesn't take out a vehicle is when we drop Spanner and then attack, and then the vehicle gets the buff. Yeah, what are you missing, Gary? So what are you missing? Can I talk about Necrons? Yeah, I can talk about Necrons for sure. I can show you the Necron deck that's top of the ladder at the minute as well. Do I want to take 4 to the face, man? Oh, I think that might be a big mistake. But then that just dies. Not the greatest turn ever, but I've learned from the past that taking 4 damage to face in those scenarios sometimes can lose you the game in these sort of like controlling mirrors, especially when I'm behind on health like I am. I'll tell you what though, if he doesn't add his nails here, this is going to be beautiful. He's such an idiot playing this into, unless he's got hard as nails. Okay, that was terrible on turn. You never do that when your opponent's about to come into turn 7. Why? Because Spanner, Burner Boy. Goodbye. Goodbye, board. Missing the mech legendary. Okay, that's not too big of a deal, Gary. I would say that is not too big of a deal because as long as you've got the 2 spanners, you don't need the mech legendary. He is good in this deck. I'm not going to lie. Like that 5 slot, he's a really powerful body, and he synergizes in 2 ways. You can use him obviously to get the burner combo off that we just played, but you can also use him to cheapen the vehicle. So I'm not going to. This is probably the deck for him, but it's definitely playable without him. Oh my god, really? Oh wow, we're so happy. We're so happy. Did he just do that? So notice I'm not attacking face. So this is the big thing, and this is why I think, Gary, this is a really good deck to play, because it's like really learning the game. Like, no, see how we played as the beatdown to start with, and then we switched. Like once that that little ping that he did, that little attack squig that stunned our lord, that turned the game. That moment, if he didn't have that, he couldn't have taken the killer can out, and we could have carried on. We could have played the spanner, and we could have carried on with the tempo, overwhelming thing. But because he had that, he scorched the killer can down to 2 health, and then he had the 2 grots alive to ping that off and finish it. It would have been the same if he'd have had the warbiker. They were the only ways he could do that. He needed my lord to not kill his grot, and that's why he played that attack squid. It was brilliant. Now, what we then needed to do is respond by changing from being the beatdown to being the control deck, and that's why we haven't attacked since. If you look at our lord, we've not attacked face once since then, because we've recognised that, and that is what, like, that's just such a huge part of these type of card games, is just recognising when you're the beatdown and when you're the control deck, and it's not just at the deck list level, it's what's happening in the game. Right, okay, so he managed to take that out. I wasn't even paying attention, sorry. He played Snazwagon. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I realised that was a misplay. I didn't need to attack with that. I'm not quite sure what the hell I was doing there. It's not obviously going to cost us too much, but it was a misplay. The other thing you can do here... Ah, nice. Nice. At least that does some damage to his face. Okay, we can actually play that on turn 12 and get 3 death counters. So he just used Will of Gore. So this could present him with a bit of an issue. He has used a Snazwagon. I don't think he's used a Warbiker yet, and I'd love to see a Warbiker here because I'm low on health and that is a win con for him, so I'd love to see it used as removal. Okay. Hero power. Into... what? What has he got? It's a little bit of a problem for him, this board. Ah, into squeak buggy. Okay, fair enough. Flank. Wow. Nice. Was not expecting that. Kill your own unit? No? Oh boy, he is like aggro. This is not good. Well, I'm very glad I didn't take that trade earlier where I would have basically taken 4 extra damage to phase, because this is what I was talking about. At this stage of the game I'd have been on 6 and already in Warbiker range with Makari and stuff, so it's okay. Here we go. Has he got the Orc Knob? Wow. Oh, mate. Your timing. That timing is lovely. I'm not sure it's enough. I think we've lost because of the Warbike here. He hasn't played one all game. He could even have proper killie as well. Yeah, proper killie, does it? Yeah. Ah, that's interesting. I'd like to go back and watch that one. We overplayed into Will of Gaunt for sure. He played that quite well. Okay, anyway, we're going to have to leave it there, guys. That was my first stream on YouTube, so that worked quite well. So, I hope that helped. Just quickly, a little bit on the Necrons, as promised, I'd just talk about those quick. With Necrons, you want to be looking at... what type of Necrons were we talking about? Let's have a look. So, if we're playing like a control deck, you really want Imhotech. You can get away with Orican, especially if you're playing the 6-drop, the Conquering Tyrant for the heal. But honestly, for proper control, you really want Imhotech. He's the biggest tank in the game. Like, being able to heal for 1 every single turn, and to then be able to play 2 Conquering Tyrants, which I would recommend you do. He's so hard to kill. He's so hard to kill. And then what you do is you build around Reconstitution Protocol. Reanimation Protocol's a trap because good players will remove the remnants and then you'll just have this stuck in your hand doing nothing. You could play 1, but I generally avoid it and play 2 of these. And what you want to be doing is early game, you want to be looking at... some people are playing this against Orcs. It's not bad if you've got it. I don't generally run it in control, but it's actually pretty good against Orcs. So in an Orc meta, I wouldn't be too against you using that, but generally speaking, what you're doing in early game is looking for Praetorian. This is such a good card early game. You can kind of, and Tombblade. These are the 2 drops. These are the 3 drops that you want. Super powerful, and both of them have got remnants, so you can bring them back with Technomancer, playing a spell, and that will bring both of those back. So with Tombblade, you can basically, you could take out a 9 health unit, for example, because you can attack with it. It's got flank. raising back up, he attacks again because he's got flank, dies, raising back again, and just basically recycling. Same with Praetorian, it's obviously a vanguard, so it's a blocker, and you can just keep raising him. So that's really what you're looking to do early game with control, and obviously using Imatec's hero power, which pings things. So between Imatec and the ping, you can kind of do 3 damage. The Psychomancer is what kind of got a little bit of a nerf, but in a way it was a buff as well. It became more of a tempo card than a control card. I would still run them. I think being able to rally and stun any enemy of your choice is really powerful, and they also upped his health to 5, which is really good for 4. So it's a good body. You can run one of them if you want. You want Curse as well. This is what leads to one of your the best AoEs in the game. So you want 2 of those. I'll come back to that in a minute. And then you want to run 2 of these because they're flankers and they've got 5 attacks, so they can take out a lot of mid-game, even strong early game units really easily. And it's also Remnant, so again you can keep recycling it. If you've got the Chronomancer, you can run it. I don't love it in the control deck. You definitely want Doomsize. It gives you the anti-flyer control, so 2 of those. Lich Guard, I don't know if I need to say anything else about them, but they're just fantastic, so you've got to have 2 of those. You want the Methodical Destruction, a couple of those. Don't worry about the Necron Lord, don't think it's actually necessary. I'm not sure he's even good enough. I'd actually quite like to try the 9-drop legendary Oberon, but I don't have him yet. I think that's actually good in control at the minute, so yeah, if you've got that. Tomb World is pivotal. It got nerfed down to 5 instead of 6 friendly infantry, but it's still really, really broken for 8 mana. Tomb World is just a key card if you're going to run this control build, because as everything's dying, it goes in the kind of, well, in the graveyard if you like, and then Tomb World just brings them all back. So yeah, that's kind of like what you're trying to do. Oh, the other card we didn't talk about in the mid game here is you want Scythe Assault, which is AoE. And you want Hexmark Destroyer, and you want Plasmancer. Plasmancer is really good because it can help you to sort of close out games as well. Late game, you start pinging 3 damage every turn with this. It's really powerful. But the combo really you're looking at is Scythe Assault with Curse of the Pharaon, and that does 9 damage. No, sorry, 2 to 3 damage plus another 3. So you can basically do 6 to 7 damage to every unit on the board. The other combo you can do is Hex. Basically, every time you cast a spell, it does 1 damage AoE. But obviously, if you play Curse as the spell, which makes everything vulnerable 3, that's a 4 AoE damage play that you've got on turn 10. So the late game AoE is really scary, and that can really mess orcs up as well if you can survive that late. Yeah, with the Scarab deck, I'm not going to go through the whole deck, but really what you're looking to do is use Orican to make sure that you get the Scarab chains going. And by Scarab chains, you've got things like you can run the Canatech Spider, but the big one is like Spider's Nest, and even just the 1-drop. Like on turn 1, you can play this, then you can play, if you go second, you can play the Stratagem that's a 0 mana, so that duplicates these to 2 Scarabs, and then you play your Warlord talent, Orican, which is only costs 1. So on the very first turn, you can end up with 4 Scarabs. And then basically what you're trying to do with Scarabs is have 4. Once you've got 4, you can play 1 spell, and then you'll end up with 8. So what you're trying to do is every turn, attack with 4, play a spell so it goes back to 8, attack with the other 4, play another spell so it goes back to 8, end your turn. Rinse and repeat. And every time they remove, if they can't remove all the Scarabs, which they can unless they've got AoE. And that's why I like Scarabs and I don't like Scarabs. Like, the problem is it's just too binary for me. It's like, yeah, it's powerful and it's annoying for your opponent and it's good for winning and it's good against orcs, but I just don't like decks where it's like, okay, you got the AoE, I lost. And it's a bit like that, so yeah. Anyway guys, I hope that was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, go and check out the WARPFORGE series. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers, so I appreciate any help you can give me there. But yeah, like and subscribe to the videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Going to do this again. Thanks guys.